starting before ShoeMe and before shoes.com. You and Roger Hardy were in something that morphed into something. So talk to me about the before story.
Taylor,
share it with us.
Be happy to. So I, throughout my 20s, I was, traveling, bartending, having fun, but then all of a sudden I realized that I needed to make some money. So I went back and I did a master's degree. I was fortunate enough to meet Roger Hardy, and he was actually locally here at a tennis club. I knew him and I challenged him to a squash game for an internship at Clearly Contacts.
Come on.
Not a word of a lie. I didn't even know him, and I went up to him and I was like, I know who you are, and I love what you're doing. I challenge you to a game, and for those of you, many of you know him, he's very competitive, so he jumped at the opportunity. He beat me, for sure.
Well, what was the challenge? You said, if I win...
If I win, I get an internship, because I was doing my master's, my MBA at locally here.
And if I lose?
I made up something that I probably couldn't have committed to, so it was about getting in there. So fortunate enough, I got the internship at Clearly Contacts. I worked with a phenomenal team, learned all about e-commerce, and I again went back and finished my master's, and luckily enough, there was an opportunity waiting for me at the end of it, so I went and I worked full-time for Clearly Contacts. That was in 2010. So I worked for Clearly Contacts for 2 years, and Roger basically gave me an opportunity to go down to Australia to run the Australian business. So that sparked my entrepreneurial spirit because I had a lot of autonomy down there, and I was just totally, I fell in love with the e-commerce world. It was growing quickly. I knew I had to be a part of it somehow, some way. So that got me on the road to e-commerce. So I learned a ton there. And
in Australia, and you have no accent to show for it.
No accent to show for it, but a wonderful place. But while I was there, I noticed that there was an online footwear retailer that basically carbon copied the Zappos model. And I worked in Europe as well, and I saw Zalando. There was a couple other online footwear retailers, and obviously Zappos was doing phenomenally well. They pulled out of Canada in May 2011, and I remember that day because when I read that press release, I knew automatically that there was an opportunity because coming from Clearly Contacts, which already was Canada's largest e-commerce website, I emailed Roger right away and I said, they're out, this can be us, we need to do this. And sure enough, he said, all right, let's go for it. So
did you play tennis for it?
No, he beats me in tennis too, by the way. So I quit my corporate job, borrowed money from everybody that I knew, and moved back into my parents' basement suite.
How old were you?
This was 3 years ago. So, yeah.
He avoided that question,
Okay. So, so that was it. It was all in. I had no other alternative because I couldn't lose money that I borrowed from my parents. I left a nice, cushy corporate job, and I just knew in my heart that I had to do it. But I was in debt up to my eyeballs, and I just had no other alternative than to figure it out. So I launched ShoeMe.ca, and Roger Hardy was with me at every step of the way. He co-founded it with me, but obviously he was with most of the time. So he was helping to fund it at certain milestones. So it was really about figuring it out, and it was difficult. But luckily, I was able to launch websites with Shopify's IPO. I mean, I love those guys. $60 a month. Launched a website, fully baked e-commerce, right? And so any money that I had was focused on servicing the customer, right? So
So was that your unique? Like, walk us through what was different about you guys and your business idea here.
So in Canada, there existed no internet retailer, but that's the business case. I'll tell you a story. My wife, my now wife, who at the time was my girlfriend, I had, and maybe some of you can relate to this, I had to drive down to Blaine, which is just right over the border here, and pick up boxes because my wife shops online. And she would just always make me go do it. And while I'm driving to Blaine...
Of course she's not here to defend herself at
all. Honestly, I was just like, I just asked the question, why? Why is there no good, fashionable, quick delivery, excellent service, e-commerce company here in Canada? Canada lags behind all other advanced economies in e-commerce. And so I knew all these data points business-wise, but then anecdotally, just in life, I had my wife and other friends just tell me that it was a huge void. So I jumped on it. I just jumped on it. I knew it was going to happen.
And keep
And
talking.
changing lives.
Thank you.
Is that better? Okay, perfect. So saw the opportunity, didn't want to drive down to Blaine anymore. And yes, built up Shumi.ca, focusing on servicing the customer and providing excellent service, excellent selection. Selection was one of our biggest, actually, it helped to propel us because Canada has such a wide spread out population. On the internet, we have so many products, right, that you can come to in one place. And when you invest in customer service department, so you take away the fear and the perceived risk of purchasing online, because Canadians are still slowly migrating online. There's lots of fear, lots of risk. I mean, in the early days, I was bootstrapping it, so I was answering customer service calls, I was launching products, I was going to the vendor shows, but we got unbelievable traction so quickly. And
So I have a question for you though, on that note. What made you think that this bootstrap startup could make a go of it in a country when Zappos, clearly the leader, who, for those of you that aren't aware, Zappos got purchased by Amazon for like $1 billion. I mean, they ended up writing it down, but a few years ago. I mean, what did you see, or what did you change to make your business successful when they failed?
So, great question, and I believe that it's a combination of things. The timing of e-commerce kind of maturing in Canada. So the stat that really got me into launching Shumi was only 2% of footwear was purchased online in Canada. In the US, 17% of all purchases are purchased online. And in South Korea, it's like 30, right? Australia, it's in the teens. So I saw it, I just bet, I literally bet everything that 2% would go to 10%. And the footwear market in Canada is about a $7 billion industry. So just by providing the selection and the service to customers in Canada that have been starved because they're always shopping at cross-border shopping, you know, and there's duties, there's hidden duty fees associated with purchasing from US websites. Obviously now there's currency impacts with Forex. So there's all of these barriers, and so all that we wanted to do was to create it seamless. All that we wanted to do was have an option for Canadian consumers that will rival, if not match, and exceed those of south of the border. So it was a combination of providing excellent selection and service, along with e-commerce in Canada maturing, and the Canadian customer now migrating online later than every other advanced economy. And knock on wood, it seems to have paid off. I mean, our growth just in Canada is very promising. But not only that, we purchased two established, profitable businesses in the U.S. Online Shoes.com, based out of Seattle, and then Shoes.com, we purchased from the Brown Shoe Co. This was in the last year. We're now amalgamating these businesses into Shoes.com. So
let's talk about that, because that's very, very unique. So first off, I'm going to ask you the question, in total, how long has the company been in business?
Well, January 2012.
2012. And your revenues today?
North of 300 million.
Really? That's it. And I can tell you right now, sitting this close, there is hardly any wrinkles there. I don't see any. Seriously. So that growth is beyond impressive, right? So tell us about that strategy for growth. You mentioned some acquisitions. How strategically did